You are now listening to Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now in Odyssey Station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
West Georgia's go-to show for all things sports.
From the best interviews in college radio.
Hey, this is Coach Joel Taylor, head football coach here at the University of West Georgia.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff Bacon, Atlantic Sun Conference Commissioner.
To the hottest takes around.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack.
The Wolves play here.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Monday edition of Sports Pack. I am your host, Richard Reed, joined today by Cadence Grieven.
Hello.
Jackson Schrader.
What's up?
John Howley behind the board. And my guy, Joey Prater, behind the glass, controlling the cameras for us. Keyshawn will be on later in the show to talk a little bit of football with us. But for right now, we're about to go ahead and get started with some UWG as always. Got some NBA on the horn. Gonna talk some FBS college football playoffs. Like I said, Keyshawn will be on for NFL later. Whole lot to talk about. Never enough time to get into it. Before we get going, I just want to remind you all that you can add dining dollars or block meal plans at any time. Info on meal plans and deals can be found by visiting westga.edu/dinewest. That is westga.edu/dinewest. You can also follow Dine West on Instagram at @dine_west for more news and updates on all your favorite food here on campus. Because of Westwood's Apartments, Wolf Sports Network can continue the success and experiential learning we need for our careers. Did you know at Westwood's Apartments all utilities are included in the rent? Flat rate pricing and costs are located at livewestwoods.com. Now, John, how about them Wolves?
Long as Widener rolls to the right. He's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it. And it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
This past Saturday, our Wolves football team finished their second season as a Division I athletic football program in a dominant 23-0 win against the Utah Tech Trailblazers. We saw our quarterback Davin Widener throw for over 200 yards, barely with 201 passing yards. Our running back Latrell Morrell broke over 100 yards with 101 rushing yards. Very, very tight game, I'll say. No team really. It was never in doubt for the Wolves. We always knew West Georgia was going to win from the start, but it wasn't one of those like extreme blowouts where we went up big early and just kind of sat on the rest of the way. It was a steady blowout, but a convincing win nonetheless. John, I want to start with you. It was your last home football game here as a member of Wolf Sports Network. What was your biggest takeaway from our football team this past weekend?
Honestly, I think just the way that the defense held it to be 0 points, a little goose egg for the final, home game of the season, and just honestly as well. Really, I couldn't be mad about winning. That's simple as that. It was a really fun game. Other than that, there's a lot of fumbles for Utah Tech, and then we had one, but I really liked what I saw, and now you just see players just going to start to hit the portal here soon. I know as of today, Latrell and a linebacker of ours have hit the portal, so just expect things to change around here.
Yeah, before we get into the people that are entering the portal, Schrader, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So last season, first season D1, we went 4-7. This year we went 8-3. Had a rough 3-game skid in the middle of the season, but managed to bounce back and double our win total from last year. If you could put a letter grade on this season for our program, what would you grade it?
Oh, I'd hit an A+. I mean, this is one of the better seasons we've had in program history, let alone to do it in our second year at the Division I level, play as well as we did in the UAC.
There you go.
I mean, it was great. Coaching staff's amazing. Players wanted to be here. They wanted to play for the Wolves. University Stadium was one heck of a place to be this season. It was awesome.
I agree. I was going to say, especially last year, it was kind of like, okay, woo, go football, we're D1. But this year, I feel like everybody has kind of felt it in a sense. And like you said, at University Stadium, I think this year I've been to more football games than I have ever, honestly. Like, it kind of felt like the same vibe as, like, the high school, like, Friday Night Lights. I feel like everybody's, like, feeling that vibe for us popping out at like game days and stuff.
Right, and that's good. That's the kind of game day environment you want to build. You want to start to galvanize students around the football program. Like you said, at first it's kind of like, oh, we're D1, everybody show up to the first game. Oh, our team kind of sucks, not showing up again.
Yep.
But we started off 5-0 this year, had the 3-game skid, but that people were still excited from that 5-0 start. Came back out for homecoming, supported us in a very thrilling 18-17 win against Central Arkansas. Then we won out, beating North Al. Then a shutout 23-0 win against Utah Tech. This is amazing. I mean, this was the perfect bounce-back season.
Yes.
Coach Taylor said early in the year in his first press conference, his goal was to double last year's win total, and he did that. If the NCAA didn't have such stupid rules in place, we'd be talking about a playoff game coming up next week after Thanksgiving break. But if you don't know, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, when you move up from the Division II rankings to Division I, whether it's FCS or FBS, you are put on probation, where you have a minimum of 4 years where you cannot play in the postseason. Now, West Georgia got in on the expedited program, so we have a 3-year suspension, but the point still stands. We still have another full season to get through before we can even think about playing in the postseason. One of the stupidest rules ever put in place by one of the worst organizations ever put together by the United States government. But I'm not going to get into all that
Don't
right
even give them
now.
the light of day.
Just know I hate everything the NCAA stands for.
Amen.
But nonetheless, very successful season. And John, you mentioned a lot of people about to start entering the portal here. That's true. Latrell Morrell and what was it? Kenneth, one of our linebackers, he entered the portal today as well. But that's just gonna happen. That's just how college football is in this day and age. But one last point to make here: when we are losing players like this, it's good that we had such a successful year 2, because now we're gonna be able to sell other people on this program, show them, look, we're progressing. We're moving up in the right direction. Our fan base is getting engaged. We're getting more and more sponsors. If you look around the stadium, there's advertisements all over the place. Things are starting to pop up. This football program is starting to grow, and the best way to continue to facilitate growth like that is by continuing to win. And they're doing just that. I cannot wait to see what this program looks like in the future. Now, our volleyball team also wrapped up their season this past Saturday with a game against – hold on. My tab closed down. I got to open it back up. with their last game of the year being senior night against Austin Peay University. It was a great game. It was a 5-set thriller, but our girls ended up coming up short, losing 3-2. Cadence, I want to start with you on this one. What was your biggest takeaway from this volleyball season as a whole?
I was going to say, I went to a volleyball game last week, and it was just, like, you could just tell nothing was clicking. It wasn't cohesive, and I'm not trying to, like, criticize or, like, humiliate these girls, because I know that they're hardworking athletes, but something is just not clicking, because we were ahead in the last game we played before Austin Peay. I think it was, I don't remember who was
We were up
it.
2-1
Yeah,
at one point.
we were up 2-1, and then I don't know if it's because we get lazy or we just aren't fast enough, or it's just simple errors that add up very quickly, but volleyball, I feel like we're just behind. Like, I feel like football's caught up. I feel like basketball, they're catching up. So is women's basketball. But, like, volleyball, this season, wow.
All right, there's definitely a disconnect. We were 0-16 in conference play this season and ended the year off on a 17-game losing streak to finish our season 2-27 overall. I mean, straight up, changes need to be made. And honestly, when you're making these kind of changes, it has to start at the top. Like I've said in the last few Sports Pack episodes, I don't find pleasure in calling for other people's jobs, but when you have an outcome like this in year 5 of your regime, something has to change. Like you said, Cadence, all of our other programs are getting to that level. Football is surging. Basketball was really good 2 years ago, and they're looking like they might be getting back to that point this year as well, with two very impressive home wins to start off the season. Volleyball has to catch up, and it's looking like we're going to need fundamental change in order to make those sorts of things happen as we prepare for next season. Now, before we move on here, we have a men's basketball game tonight on the road in Cookeville, Tennessee, against Tennessee Tech. Schrader, you were at the last basketball game, this past Saturday, where we won 192 versus the Citadel. What do you need to see from our guys to get their 3rd win of the season here in Cookeville?
Yeah, so first thing I need to see, the offense needs to keep doing what it's doing. Offense is playing great. I mean, I've been to 2 games at the Coliseum. They've dropped 100 in each of those games, so it's been great to see that. But they really need to work on their transition defense. Their transition defense is terrible at best. They give up a lot of unnecessary fast break buckets. I mean, Richard, when you were the PA announcer at the last one, you'd celebrate a West Georgia 3, and then 2 seconds later you had to say that Citadel just scored a layup because we're not getting back on defense. So if they can fix that, which seemed pretty evident that Coach Moore was pretty ready to fix that during the game. I don't think he was enjoying the buckets that we were giving up.
You could hear him outside the Coliseum.
Yeah, he wasn't too happy. But if we fix that and then just don't take our foot off the gas, we almost blew a 20-point lead in the last game in the Coliseum against the Citadel. We had that game put away, and then we let them get right back into it. So if we can just not take our foot off the gas, fix the transition defense, I mean, this team's looking really good.
This is a really strong West Georgia men's basketball team, Schrader. Like you said, offensively, they are borderline elite. We have 3 guys averaging over 10 points a game through the first 4 games of the season. Chaz Lulis averaging 13 points a game. Josh Smith averaging 16 points a game.
The 6th man.
And shooting 52.9% from 3.
Dude, this is like Harden on the Thunder. Just
Dude,
coming off the
he's
bench
ridiculous.
and lighting it up.
Josh Smith is arguably the best scorer on this team, right behind Shelton, Williams, Dryden, who's averaging 17.8 points a game. But Shelton gets it all done, the mid-range and the paint, real scrappy player, tall, strong, go get in there and get a tough bucket every time. Josh Smith can beat you any way
He's
possible.
just letting that junk fly, dude.
Dude, he's ridiculous. And a slam one on you, too, if you give him the opportunity. He had a crazy poster in our first home game.
Dude, that was unreal.
That was insane.
This West Georgia men's basketball team has the potential to go far, especially in conference play. Like you said, we just got to find a way to fix that defense. Our women's team had another win as well this past Thursday. I almost said impressive win, but it was a bit of an ugly game. We found a way to win it. Shot about 56 free throws against Alabama State University, but still got away with a 3-point win, winning 64-61. Only suffered a little bit of emotional damage from my guy John over here. Their next game will be this upcoming Wednesday on the road in Atlanta versus the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Now, we're going to take a quick ad break, When we return, we're going to dive into some FBS college football, talk about a few of the upsets this weekend and how that might affect the playoff picture tomorrow night. Don't go anywhere. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network. Stay locked. You're listening to Sports Pack right here on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
If you are anything like me, then you wait until the absolute last minute to go and do all your Christmas shopping. But if you have that same problem, Wolf Sports Network has you covered. A wide variety of clothing for men and women presented by Ozier Apparel. Men and women's polos, shirts, hats, beanies, joggers, and we even have a baseball jersey for that baseball fan in your life. Visit our merch store online at wolfsportsnetwork.com and click About. Don't be stuck giving out a lame gift this holiday season. Give your loved ones the best gift of all. Wolf Sports Network merch only at wolfsportsnetwork.com.
Join Wolf Sports Network as we present our 4th tailgate of the season on October 25th.
Breaking down the game between the Central Arkansas Bears and your West Georgia Wolves.
And other matchups from across the college football world.
The action starts at noon, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Tailgate sponsored by Campus Services and Westwood Apartments. Campus Services, from dining, parking, IDs, or mail, visit the Momentum Center, Westwoods Apartments. 100% student living, flat rate utilities, no hidden fees.
Hey, do you want to be part of Wolf Sports Network? Yeah! Well, I have some good news for you because you can join us. So if you want to learn more about this, go to wolfsportsnetwork.com and click WIT Sports Program. With becoming a WIT, you expand your knowledge in the sports radio world and join our ever-growing family.
New face over there, you're not tripping. We got my guy JT over here shadowing the board. He's running through the WIT program right now.
Oh.
Brandon, how you feeling, baby? Welcome to Sports
I'm feeling
Pack.
great being on here for the first time.
And we can't wait to meet you once you join us.
Wolf Sports Network is back and will feature 3 live shows this fall.
On Mondays and Thursdays at 6, Sports Pack has you covered with all breaking sports news at the University of West Georgia and the entire sports landscape.
On Wednesdays at 6, Sports Out of Pocket is bringing the energy with zero chill, talking all the hot button issues in professional sports.
And on Friday at noon, we get you ready for your college football weekend with the Playbook.
You won't want to miss out on all the action this semester at Wolf Sports Network.
College students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or a project as a result of drinking. That is why Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign is always here to remind students that drinking should be done responsibly and in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses.
Being a broke college student is hard.
Sure live.
That's why finding deals on meals is a huge win. At UWG, Dine_West on Instagram has daily and weekly specials for dining halls, Chick-fil-A, and Starbucks. That's at UWG, Dine_West on Instagram.
Baby, it's college football time. Give me my theme music. Man.
I love college football.
It's the best sport in the world. It truly is. We had a crazy weekend starting off in the SEC with the then 11th ranked Oklahoma Sooners going into Titletown to take on the 4th ranked team in the nation,
Sooner,
the Alabama Crimson Tide, and coming away with a 23-21 win, breaking the hearts of Tide fans everywhere.
Amen.
That just thought they were going to scoot their way in right into the SEC title game. The Tide now have their first SEC loss and their second loss overall, because if you forgot, they lost to Florida State week 1.
Yeah. Yeah, they
you
did.
see Schrader has his Florida State quarter zip on right now.
Yeah, they did.
So, John,
Yeah.
what was your knee-jerk reaction to this performance from the Crimson Tide?
I remember talking about it on the tailgate show Saturday. You know, I originally picked Alabama. I said, but don't be surprised if Oklahoma stays in this game late. And what they do, they absolutely stayed in this game. And then, honestly, I think one thing that was big, and you and I were talking about when we were watching the game, was when Ty Simpson kind of got a little bit injured. We couldn't put that much pressure on his back foot. And when your back foot's hurting, you can't throw the ball as well. And a lot of his passes started to look a lot less efficient than it used to be. And I was kind of a little bit surprised, but I mean, at the same time, I'm not mad about what I said, other than the fact I just picked the wrong team. That's as simple as that. But it was one heck of a game. For having over 400 yards of offense and Oklahoma only having 212, that says something right there.
Yeah, I think my knee-jerk reaction was something like, nice. But when I look at this game, it was very much so a picture of defense wins championships.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's offense was not the greatest. Mateer had 138 passing yards, no touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown. Their leading rusher had 34 yards on 10 carries.
Yep.
You look at Alabama, they've run into an issue where they don't run the ball. And when they do, they don't do it effectively.
Yep.
They're relying on Ty Simpson too much. It was the exact same thing you saw when they played Florida State. They ran the crap out of the ball on the first drive against Florida State, and then they couldn't run the ball anymore. They just tried to pass it. That's what happened against Oklahoma. I mean, Ty Simpson threw the ball 42 times, was only able to complete 28 of those passes for 1 touchdown and 1 pick. Still had 326, but they need to add an extra dimension to their offense if they really want to make a push.
So, Keyshawn, now that we're looking at this game, I know I'm going to give you a second to break it down in a second, but this is the first thing that came to my mind. Alabama now has their second loss of the season. They play Eastern Illinois next week. We can go ahead and chalk that up as a W.
Should be.
But then they go on the road to take on the Auburn Tigers in a night game in the Iron Bowl. And then if somehow they survive that game, it's looking like they're going to play Texas A&M in the SEC Championship. They cannot afford to lose again, or else they're probably going to miss the playoff because they'll be a 3-loss team, and Oklahoma will be a 2-loss team that has the tiebreaker over them. Do you think Alabama makes it out of these last 3 games potentially unscathed?
I believe they can, but it's going to be – they're going to have to put on enormous performance because right now, like you said, they're a 2-loss team. UGA, I believe, is a 1-loss team, right?
Yeah. So that 1 loss was to Bama, so they still have the tiebreaker.
Oh, okay. So
in
it's
the
still
SEC, that is.
Right. So it's still a tiebreaker. So, I mean, yeah, these last 2 final games, especially that one against Auburn, is really going to decide the fact whether they make it to the SEC title game or not. I mean, and then you have to factor in other things like UGA and their schedule and even Texas A&M. So, I mean, these 2 games hold a lot of weight because not only do they have to win, but, I mean, they kind of have to score a certain amount of points, too, to kind of give them that comfortable edge against these other 2 teams to kind of put themselves in that driver's seat for the SEC title game. So that's my take on that. But as far as this game goes, I mean, really the story of the game was that Oklahoma defense, like they said. I mean, Alabama committed 3 turnovers, and Oklahoma turned them into 17 points. They held that running game. They held that running game. It didn't provide no type of balance, which like he said, Ty Simpson had to rely on himself to make plays, and that gives the Oklahoma defense, hey, we know this Alabama run game isn't strong. Let's just dial in on this pass game. So, I mean, that offense really became one-dimensional at a certain point. And, when you're facing a good Venables defense like Oklahoma's, you can't afford that. Not against a savvy defensive-minded coach like Venables. So, I mean, you have to come stronger, have to give more dynamic pieces on the offensive side, have to get more weapons in the backfield, and you have to establish a strong running game in order to close out these last two games to get yourself in that title game.
I fully believe this Bama team just might miss the college football playoff.
Dude, Jordan Hare's a scary place.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Hare is terrifying.
But he's still Illinois.
Jackson Arnold, yeah, he's still Illinois. He's still Illinois to bring something out. They look confident.
He's still Illinois.
But when I'm looking at this, dude, I don't even see them. I said on the tailgate show before the Oklahoma game even kicked off, I don't think they make it out of Jordan Hare alive. Alabama has played in 5 one-score games this season. This Oklahoma game being the 5th one. Auburn has lived in those games. They have an elite defense that has only given up over 24 points one time. Now, that was their last outing against Vanderbilt. But this is still an inspired team. Ashton Daniels is their new starting quarterback. We might see some Deuce Knight, 5-star freshman, as the year goes on.
What's Auburn got to lose?
Exactly. They have nothing to lose. Ashton Daniels threw for 353 passing yards and 2 touchdowns against Vandy. Cam Coleman came alive, 10 catches for 143. Eric Singleton, 11 catches for 102 and a touchdown. They also had over 200 rushing yards as well. They're going to bring everything they have to the Iron Bowl to try to beat this Alabama team because, like you said, they have nothing to lose. Interim head coach. They need these players to ball out. A lot of them are going to enter the portal. They're looking to put some good tape on film. They're going to go out guns blazing against this Bama team. And if they somehow survive, they have to face A&M. The same A&M team that has won a game in every single way possible.
They're a wagon.
Blowouts, comeback victories, close games. They can beat you any way possible. I don't know how this version of this Alabama team survives the rest of the SEC slate, and I don't think they make the college football playoff.
I agree with you.
And then now you have the Georgia Bulldogs who are currently surging. Their defense has somewhat come alive, Schrader, after their dominant 35-10 win against the Texas Longhorns. How far do you think this Georgia Bulldogs team can go?
Now I think this team, they've proven themselves. Right. I was skeptical because of the amount of games against mid-tier opponents that they were kind of just squeaking out in the end. But now that performance against Mississippi State should have showed me what they were going to do against Texas. I think Texas is highly overrated. And Georgia's just handling business now.
Yeah, they are.
You're starting to see that Kirby's smart. He don't need those halftime adjustments anymore. That's a scary Georgia team to play when they don't have to go into the locker room and fix things, right? They were in control that entire game. Arch Manning was crying on the sidelines like that. When you make another quarterback cry, just shows that this Georgia team can maybe make the SEC championship, depending on what Bama does. But that Bama loss hurts.
It does.
If they can recover, I mean, they're a playoff team.
Yeah,
they're a playoff team. It's just about secured unless you get, demolished by Georgia Tech and find yourself in the SEC championship and lose. There's a way that could happen. But I think this Georgia team, they're in control of their college football playoff hopes and national championship hopes. So, yeah, they're good, and they're a wagon.
John, Gunnar Stockton is a quarterback that coming into the season, a lot of people like myself really doubted what he'll be able to do for this team. But he has elevated his play style to the point where you can walk away from your TV and not worry about what Gunnar might do. He had 5 total touchdowns this past weekend against Texas. 1 interception, but the defense had his back, and Texas couldn't really capitalize. How far do you think Gunnar can take the Dogs?
I mean, you've seen him throughout the whole season step up. He's learning. He's a smart kid. He's not doing stupid stuff like Carson Beck was. That's one thing I praise about Gunnar Stockton. He's not an idiot. And
that's good. It's good not to be an idiot.
But anyways, Gunnar Stockton's been absolutely insane. He has a good arm. He's obviously not afraid to throw to his other wide receivers. You see Noah Thomas being absolutely incorporated to the game plan, and he's really throwing it to both his tight ends. He's going to be able to pull the ball when he needs to. You saw that big chunk play when we were backed up. He pulled the ball. He can take it 20, 30
He can run the crap out of football.
Kid's got legs. Kid's got an arm. I mean, he's playing smart, and he can definitely take us to a promised land that we maybe don't know exactly right now because, some people can still doubt Gunnar Stockton.
I know what the promised land is.
Oh, yeah. We know what that is, but I'm not going to say it right now.
Now, we still have a lot more to see of this Georgia team. Next weekend they play against Charlotte. It's weird how the SECs have made these schedules.
You know what they say about Charlotte?
Worst team in all of college football?
Yeah, I hope you knew because I didn't.
This year's Kennesaw State. One of my friends went to Charlotte versus USF earlier this season, and he said the Charlotte.
I watched that game on TV.
He said Charlotte's probably the worst football team he's ever seen in his life in person.
Really?
And he watched the Fayette County Tigers a couple years ago. So, I mean, it's very, very interesting that he said that. But
interesting.
Moving forward, Georgia has to play against Georgia Tech end of the season. Georgia Tech's been a little shaky over the past few weeks, but that is Brent Key's Super Bowl.
Dude,
that game is going to be incredible.
His post-game interview, when they were like, what do you have to say about this game? He just said, we won.
Yeah,
that's it.
Simple as that.
Always think
Because
about
they got
Georgia.
down early, found a way to surge. Georgia still has a few more tests before they get through the rest of the season, can even think about the SEC title game.
Yeah,
but
True.
the team looks great. The fan base is getting very comfortable, and the dogs are surging. Now, before we end this segment, Keyshawn, I have a question for you.
Let me hear it.
Quick hypothetical. Let's say Alabama beats Eastern Illinois next week, and what's going to be a barn burner.
Ooh, dude, that one's close.
They find a way to beat Auburn in the Iron Bowl. So they go into the SEC title game as a 10-2 team and lose to Texas A&M. So now this is a Bama team that's 10-3. Let's say they lose to A&M 34-31 in one possession game. So it's 10-3 Alabama team. And then you have a potential 10-2 Notre Dame team that will not play in a conference championship game. Who are you giving the nod to in the playoffs? The 10-2 Notre Dame team or the 8-3 Alabama team?
Give me the, give me the 10-3. Give me the 10-3 Alabama team.
The 3-loss Bama?
I take the 3-loss Bama because their 3 losses. One loss came from the title game against an undefeated, or what I would assume an undefeated Texas A&M team. So that kind of, that credibility comes from that. But I mean, then you look at the other 2 losses. You have a loss from Florida State, who started off strong, but then they kind of derailed. So that kind of put them up in the air as well. But Notre Dame, their resume isn't just as strong as Alabama's, I don't believe. And Alabama has played lights out all season up until, this point. So, I mean, I still like this Alabama team. I still like where they're headed. So, I mean, give me Alabama over Notre Dame.
Now, Schrader, I see you're itching to jump in here.
But
this is why I posed the question. I made it to where Alabama loses to A&M because Notre Dame has also lost to A&M. But Notre Dame has some wins that have aged very well, like beating Navy, who's looking like they're going to be the G5 representative. They beat USC, and they just beat Pittsburgh, ran the ball all over them. And then they will have the benefit of not having played in that conference title game. And I know this is going to be controversial if something like this happens at the end of the year. So what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, I just want to, I definitely haven't seen something like this play out in a situation that I'm not still butthurt about. They're going to pick Bama because they're going to say, no, they're in a conference. We're not going to punish them for getting to a point where they're playing for a conference championship. Also, their resume, even at 10-3, would be far more impressive than that of Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't play in a conference. And, I've seen a Bama team go in over a 13-0 Power 5 champion in a 4-team playoff. I think that they would be put in over. If it came down to those two, Bama would be in.
So if you do have these conversations start to materialize where they're now being punished for being an independent, do you think it's going to be necessary for them to maybe move into a Big Ten or an ACC in the future?
We should have been bullying these guys to get into a conference 10 years ago.
Yep.
That's all that needs to be said.
And then the fact that they were able to loosely do it that one time for the COVID year just seems flawed to me.
Well, they're in the ACC for every single sport aside from football.
It's because of the money. That's it.
No, it's because it's the money, and they blame it on tradition, but it's the media deals that they have with NBC and all of that sort of thing. But, yeah, they need to fix that because it's going to get to the point where the committee's just going to be like, okay, you're saying – I don't even know if you classify them as a Power 5 school because, they don't play Power 5 opponents.
They're really just
an
at-large.
Yeah.
They're more so a freelancer, you can kind of call them, because, like you said, they got busted up on earlier in the season. That probably wasn't the best way to word it. But they got beat up on early in the season, 27-24 loss against Miami, 41-40 loss in an amazing game on the road. I mean, at home versus Texas A&M.
Right.
But then who have they played? They beat Purdue. Cool. You beat Arkansas. Boise State. NC State. USC is starting to look like a great win.
USC's a good win.
But I think that USC team is a much different team than they were on October 18th when they faced off. But that's a good win. Navy, good win. All right, you beat Boston College. Pitt is a good win, but like you said, they're about to start being punished for not being in a conference.
Right.
So I feel like you have to make a move. And maybe the ACC isn't that move. Maybe it's the Big Ten.
I don't think they'll do that. Just because of all of their other sports being in the ACC, they'll make the transition smooth and just be like, hey, we're in a conference. Plus, the ACC, honestly, it's starting to come up a little bit. The big hire that we had today at Virginia Tech, as well as just Georgia Tech's rising, and it's a conference that's starting to eat itself alive. When a conference starts to do that, it starts to look like the Big 12, which is getting a lot more credible. So I think you add Notre Dame to the ACC, it makes it a lot more of a respectable, almost tradition-based conference, aside from Cal, SMU, and Stanford. Make it might be the all-coast conference now, but they're starting to build a little more credibility. Teams are getting better. I think I could see them moving back to the ACC.
Yeah.
That last little rant you went on at the end, Schrader, ended up being the perfect segue into our next topic. James Franklin, former Penn State head coach, that was just let go earlier in the season after Penn State's shaky start, is finalizing a deal to be hired as the next head coach for the Virginia Tech Hoosiers. This is a big time hire for Virginia Tech. They got a lot of big time donor buy-in over the last few years. I heard through the grapevine that some donors have pledged like over $240 million to their program over the next 5 years. This is the perfect time to bring in a program builder like James Franklin when you're getting that much buy-in, John.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great to do that because you know what he brings. You saw what he did at Penn State. Yes, there might have been some things you questioned that he did, but he's a really good coach. He's a very good guy. And I think this is going to help Virginia Tech really, you've mentioned it before, you think Virginia Tech could be good. Well, this is their keystone right here to really get them back going within the next couple of years.
James Franklin is not a coach that pops up on the market that often. No. Virginia Tech fired Brent Pry, reasonably so, at the perfect time. James Franklin wants to be there. This is a program that is so much fun when they're good. When Enter Sandman has a little bit of sustenance, when they have a big night game, that place gets going, they get jumping. This guy can recruit. This guy can we've seen what 10-2, man. If you're a program like Virginia Tech who just hasn't been good since Beamer, and even those last days of Beamer really weren't that great. You get a guy that is going to get you double-digit wins year in and year out. This is great. Happy Valley, man. I don't know what they're doing in Penn State, but they're about to go through what Nebraska just went through for the last decade. And it's great to see that Virginia Tech, as an ACC guy, I love it when an ACC program does something well, makes a great hire, and James Franklin is all the way bought in up there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. This is a great fit for both parties because, I mean, for Virginia Tech, it kind of shows how committed they are with throwing all of this money around, and like you said, the $240 million buy-in. So I mean, it shows how committed they are to really turning this program around.
Oh yeah.
And for James Franklin, I mean, this is kind of, this is a great fit for him because he's still connected to that recruiting area. I mean, you get great recruits coming out of the DMV. I mean, that's not too far from Penn State. So I mean, that lineage is still there, as well as his problem with Penn State was he couldn't get over that 10-win hump. So now with Virginia Tech, with a much lighter schedule than Penn State, he's going to be able to cross.
They got
10,
an easy schedule.
They're going to be able to cross 10 wins perfectly fine. And, even put them in contention for the ACC championship, who, like you said, is on a rise. It's not there yet. So I mean, a Virginia Tech could still compete in the ACC next year. But I mean, for a team that's not ready to turn it around right away. But, they have something to work with now. I mean, this is a great fit for both parties.
I mean, they could definitely make something happen. In this day and age of college football, you can flip a roster overnight just about.
You never know.
I mean, we just saw the West Georgia Wolves double their win total from last year using the portal. And we're not talking about West Georgia. We're talking about Virginia Tech. They have a massive resource pool that we just kind of we just talked about it a second ago. Massive resource pool, beautiful campus. Great historic program. Michael Vick came through there. I mean, Virginia Tech used to be a big-time program. Now you're bringing in a big-time coach like James Franklin, who is a top-tier recruiter as well. On top of this being a straight-up big-time program builder, I expected him to take the Florida job. I like this fit a little bit more. I can see James Franklin making Virginia Tech his baby. And over the next few years, we're really going to see them start to surge in the ACC. Now, before we go to break, I have to mention the Atlanta Hawks are on a tear.
Yeah.
They just went to the West Coast on their early West Coast tour this season, and running off 5 straight wins, going 5-0 in the West Coast tour, wrapping it up last night with a 124-122 win against the Phoenix Suns. Schrader, they were down over 20 points at one point during this game, but the Hawks kept fighting and they found a way to win it.
Yeah, I actually watched some of this game because I figured out that the free cable subscription that comes with my apartment has a non-HD version of
So you got SD.
Fox Sports Southeast. Yeah, whatever it is, it's like half the screen looks kind of pixelated. And I saw Dylan Brooks going crazy in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Turned it off because I turned it on. They went on like an 18-0 run. Suns looked like they had it. Checked the score today. Saw the Hawks won. That is great for y'all's team. Without Trey is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be interesting to see when they bring Trey back into the mix. Does he elevate this team, or does he kind of push down the chemistry that's been building?
Yeah, Jalen Johnson's been incredible, averaging over 21 points a game, 9.6 rebounds, over 6 assists a game as well. He's our stat leader in pretty much every major facet of the game. This team is really starting to rally around him. And you're right, Schrader. It's going to be very interesting to see how it goes, how it all gels when Trae Young returns.
Yep.
But I think that's where we're going to find out how good of a coach Quinn Snyder really is. It's his, second-ish year here in Atlanta, second, maybe third year?
I have no idea. I've had the same coach in my organization for my entire lifetime.
Right, but I mean,
just about. So
we've seen Quinn Snyder do great things throughout the league and his tenure in the NBA, and this is going to be his chance to really prove himself here in Atlanta. This team is surging at the moment. He has to find a way to make it all gel together when Trey returns, because if he can come back and make this somewhat of a seamless transition, this is a Hawks team that could really make a case for the Eastern Conference Finals. They have a big-time test tonight with the team with the best record. Well, that's tied with the best record for the NBA. With the Detroit Pistons, They're tied with the Thunder for the best record in the NBA, sitting at 11-2. Are coming into State Farm Arena to take on the Hawks. It's going to be a great game, great test for the Hawks, and I cannot wait to see it. That is tonight at 7:30 p.m. Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book for every child at UWG's pre-K monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfUWG.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. Visit the website at thewolfuwg.com/book drive. I could feel you looking at me. I had to
piercing
sniffle.
Richard right there through this little alcove. Piercing Richard.
Storm. You're staring at me. I had to sniffle. I'm trying to find it off to the end of it. It was a mess. Stay tuned.
Them UWGs get you.
Stay tuned, man. This is Sports Pack.
You are listening to Sports Pack, Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7.
Sports Out of Pocket has a brand new showtime. Yeah. But what time is it at? I don't know. It's not 5 to 6. Nuh-uh. It's not 7 to 8. Nuh-uh. It's 6-7. Wolf Sports Network. Hello? Can anybody hear me? I can't see anything. It's like a snowstorm out here.
JT, I need your help.
What? Who goes there?
I'm the ghost of Out of Pocket Past.
Nah, bro. I don't mess with ghosts.
But I need a sports fan that has zero chill.
Well, now that you mentioned that, this is going to be Out of Pocket. Tune in to Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket, Zero Chill. Wednesdays at 6 on Wolf Sports Network. Man, this beat brings back memories. Anyways, let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all college basketball, football, and baseball. Fridays at noon. The Playbook, only on Wolf Sports Network. It ain't just a game. It's everything. This is where the best separate themselves from the rest. But to be the best, you gotta read the best. And the best is the Playbook. Let's go. Yeah, go. Tune into the Playbook, Fridays at noon on Wolf Sports Network.
In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty.
You know, I'm obligated to start this segment off with our hometown team.
Should I play the world's smallest violin real quick?
It's been playing.
The Atlanta Falcons had a home game yesterday against one of their division rivals, the then 5-5 Carolina Panthers.
New owner.
Falcons started off strong, surging in the first quarter. Looked like this is going to be a very impressive Atlanta win, going up 21-10 in the second.
Ooh.
Then Michael Penix Jr. goes down with a potential knee injury. He's been placed on IR. He will be out for at least 4 games with a bit of an aggravated ACL on the same knee that he had an ACL tear in a few years ago. Then Kirk Cousins entered the game. And when Kirk Cousins entered the game, Bryce Young came alive, going 31 for 45 for 448 passing yards and 3 touchdowns for Bryce Young as the Carolina Panthers made it out of the bins with a 30-27 win in overtime against the hometown Atlanta Falcons.
448, new franchise record dropped on your boys. How you feeling about that?
You just got to find a way. You just got to find a way.
Thank you, Raheem.
From various Falcons fans, all I heard was how bad Bryce Young was and how the only factor in determining who's going to win this game was going to be Rico Dowdle for the Carolina Panthers. I heard it from 92.9 The Game. I heard it from the Twins. I heard it from you guys, right? You said all we got to do is stop the run game and we'll be fine.
I don't think I said that.
I think Bryce Young was listening. And he just showed you why he was a number 1 overall pick. He went crazy, let alone the Falcons defense just forgot how to tackle at the end of that game. You let a tight end in Tremble just go 50-something yards down the field in overtime on just a dump-off check down because you were going for the strip. You were just trying to get the ball out. You got to tackle that man. I mean, I was listening to this game on the radio, and I could just hear the pain in those guys' voices. I can see the pain in Richard's eyes. He won't look at me. He won't. He's looking in the other suite right now. That game was brutal, and it exposed everything we've been saying about the Falcons. They are no longer inconsistent. They're consistently bad. Luckily, you guys have one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. I think Kirk played half decent. I mean, he really didn't play that bad when he was in the game.
6 for 14 for 48 yards.
And that's not terrible.
He looked horrible.
You want him to throw some interceptions?
He looked terrible.
He could have done better.
I mean, Penix ain't been doing much better than that all year.
Penix was actually having his best game as a Falcon. When he exited the game, he was 13 for 16 with 175 yards.
Yeah.
He was very efficient and was playing a very good game.
But the injury bug that I have said, picking Penix was not a smart move because he's a knee injury
Predicting
away.
Injuries is like the laziest way to give yourself credit. Nobody knew he was going to get hurt.
Well, when you
he played 2.
He's blown out his knee 2 times in college.
3.5. That was 4 years ago. He played 2 healthy years at Indiana without even having enough. Not Indiana, at Washington after those injuries. You can't just predict he's going to have another one. Even then, he didn't fully tear it. He had like some kind of sprain or something in his knee that aggravated it. But when he's gone 3.5 years without having this, you can't just say, "Oh, I know he's going to get hurt." Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I've been saying it's obvious he's going to get hurt because his knees are going to get weaker as they go. It's like Nick Chubb with his knee injuries. You know one's bound to happen when he steps on the field. If he's healthy for 3 years, he's going to be due. It's obvious that was going to happen. I don't know why it's a surprise.
Predicting injuries is just like a cheapo way out to me. I mean, I understand he got hurt. I mean, it is what it is now. But the fact you're sitting here, oh, I knew he was going to get hurt. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
It's not like I'm saying this for the first time.
I know. I mean, I've thought this way every time you've said it. We've had this conversation before. I don't think predicting injuries is really it's not. There's really no skill in
you
that.
only voice this opinion on. You only voice this concern after the injury happened.
We've had this conversation before.
Not this debate.
I can't sit
you
here and
challenge me.
I can't sit here and recall the exact episode we talked about it. But we've talked about it before, where you've mentioned the fact it was with the draft when you were saying, "No, I wouldn't pick him because of his knees." I was like, we don't know if he's gonna get hurt again. He ended up getting hurt again. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is now. But predicting an injury is, I mean, there's no skill.
I'm sorry, I was right.
Hey man, do what you got to do. I mean, I don't really know what to say to you at this point. I mean, he's hurt now. I'm just saying there's no skill in predicting an injury.
I never said I had skill.
I know you don't. That's why we're having this conversation. Ooh. But moving off of this game, because there's really nothing else to add from it. We had another big time game in the NFC as well. The NFC West is wide open with 2 teams really starting to surge into the driver's seat of that being the L.A. Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers are still creeping around back there as well, but the Rams and the Seahawks look to be the 2 alpha dogs in this game, and they squared off yesterday with the Rams escaping with a 21-19 win on the road against Seattle. John, what's your reaction to this Rams win?
The main thing that I was kind of surprised was how many interceptions Sam Darnold threw. And the fact that they were still in that game and they barely lost. He had 279 yards. He was 29 for 44 with 4 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. It is quite interesting, but it shows how good the Seattle defense is, and it shows that they will play hard-nosed football. But I just feel like if this is going to keep happening for Sam Darnold, I know there's been some interceptions for him this season. If this keeps happening to Sam Darnold, that's not going to benefit Seattle in any way possible. But then at the same time, the Rams looked really good. Matt Stafford maybe didn't have the best statistical game.
Though.
But it's solid. He gets the job done. And you rely on him, and I mean it was a really good game. Ended up going down to that wire, and I'm still just kind of processing how does Sam Darnold throw 4 interceptions, but Rams defense is very solid.
I mean, Seattle has that Mike McDonald defense, man.
Absolutely.
The fact that Seattle was in that game.
Exactly. That defense is elite, and they were going up against a Rams offense that had been clicking over the past few weeks. Matthew Stafford had gone 5 straight games with over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they limited him to 15 of 28. 130 yards and just 2 touchdowns. It was enough to get the game. It was enough to have the game won. When you have 4 turnovers going against you, it really made me more confident in Seattle because if Sam Darnold can find a way to play clean, Keyshawn, the sky could be the limit for this team.
Yeah, what I took from this game was I like the Seattle Seahawks even more because when you turn the ball over 4 times on offense and you still only lose by 2 points, that kind of shows resilience to me. So, I mean, from this game, although Sam Darnold played bad, I mean, you take away those 4 interceptions, this could have been an 8-2 Seattle Seahawks team. So, I mean, it kind of shows, how resilient that defense, how strong that defense is as well. Because, I mean, Kenneth Walker didn't really step up either as much.
He's had a rough year.
Their run game's been very shaky over the past few years.
They've been really trying to force feed him and not – I don't know. It seems like every time Kenneth Walker gets the ball, it's just kind of a halfback dive just right up the gut.
Right.
And it doesn't really go anywhere. But I think, Sam Darnold having this game, honestly, he was probably due for it. He's played great ball over the last 2 years, but he's still not necessarily like a superstar. He's a solid, serviceable franchise kind of quarterback. But the fact that they were able to stay in this game is unreal. He made the reason I predicted them to win this game age like milk because I said he was going to be the it factor in this game for the Seahawks. But I just think, it's solid if you're a Seahawks fan. You look at this and say, you know what? I don't necessarily believe there's such thing as a good loss. But this is a loss that you can learn a lot from and maybe take a little comfort in the fact that you hung in this game when you had four picks.
Right.
Yeah, you have a good point. Now, I want to play a quick little game before we get into our Monday Night Football picks, John. Play that stager for me.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Now, I'm pretty sure y'all know how this goes. We're going to play a quick game called Take It or Leave It. I'm going to give a sports take, and the guys are going to tell me whether they're taking it or leaving it.
Bringing back the Willoughby Ray.
Oh, yeah. Bringing back the Willoughby Ray era, the golden era, some might call it. Now.
Was a time.
Now, for the first take. The Bears are the best team in the NFC North. Take it or leave it. Anybody?
Is there a shot clock on this? Because I have to think about this for a second. You know what? I'm just going to go. I'm going to take that.
You're taking it?
I'm going to take that.
Bears.
Why do you say the Bears are the best?
I say that right now, one, because we've seen the Packers play in a lot of close games as of recently to inferior opponents. One, this week, the Giants, they're a beat-up team. I love Jameis, but there's no reason that they should have been in that game for as long as they were. They had that game against the Browns earlier in the season. They seem to be escaping, right? That game that did they lose to the Eagles? They lost to the Eagles? No, the Packers. I'm talking about the Packers real quick.
Yeah, the Packers lost to the Eagles.
Yeah, because the Packers are the team that I would say is right there with them, but the Bears have been rolling. Ben Johnson's doing what Ben Johnson does on the offensive side of the ball. Caleb Williams is playing good ball. Their defense is playing great. The vibes are high. They're just, as of now, I'd say they're the best team. Will they finish the best team? I don't know, but as of now, yeah, give it to me.
Now, Keyshawn, staying in the NFC here, would I be crazy to say that the Eagles are let me start over. Would I be crazy to say the Eagles are still the team to beat in the NFC?
Absolutely. No, that's not crazy. I think they are the team to beat in the NFC. In the NFC. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Take it, baby.
Give me some, bro. I appreciate it. I forgot all about this. But, yeah, they are the team to beat in the NFC because, they have the best roster. They have the best coaches. They have the best record. They've been playing the most consistent out of any team in the NFC. So, Of course, they are the team to be in the NFC. I don't really see any other team besides maybe, well, not even maybe. You have the Rams at the top of the NFC West. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the top of the NFC South, but I don't think they're better than the Eagles. And then you have the Bears, like he alluded to. The Bears, I don't think they're a greater team than the Eagles. I don't have them. So I mean, other than the Eagles, I could see the Rams. But if I had to pick between those two, I'm going to the Eagles.
Bears have won like 7 in a row, right?
Something like that.
Something
crazy
stupid.
Like that. Six
yeah,
or,
I mean,
dang, I'm not gonna.
3 in a row to be exact, but
3 in a row.
Only
it
3.
feels like
it's the Broncos that have like
the Broncos are on a crazy win streak.
But the only thing that I would do to almost contest it, I agree. I think the Eagles are still the team to beat because that's not just record based; that's reputation based.
Yeah. Right.
They've played in a couple sloppy games,
including last night, 16-9 against Detroit,
dude.
Yeah,
and the game against the was it?
It was the Packers.
It was
Packers
the
game
Packers,
was rough
right?
too.
So you could look at it. Maybe they're not playing the best, but they're still winning.
They're still winning.
Yeah, their defense has been playing elite. The linebackers were incredible. Zach Bond and Kobe Dean had crazy games. I think they had like 5 batted balls between Jordan Davis and
Dude,
and Phillips along the D line.
That first batted ball from Jordan Davis that resulted in that DeJean pick. Did you see him just get flattened by the offensive line?
Yeah, I saw that.
It was worth it, though. What Thanos say, a small price to pay for salvation. So a lot of people are kind of questioning this Eagles offense, but the defense is still there. And when they still have all the pieces from that Super Bowl team last year, you got to believe the offense will eventually come around.
Hey, who wins championships?
Defense.
There you go.
Now, John, to end off this game or take it or leave it, what if I was to say the Chiefs missed the AFC title game after 5 straight appearances? You taking it or leaving it?
I'm leaving it.
Leaving it? You think the Chiefs find a way to make it back? They're currently sitting at 5-5 and has had a rough division loss to the Denver Broncos yesterday afternoon.
I mean, I think it just comes down to the way their offense is. Obviously, their defense has gotten better throughout the years, and this is probably one of their better defense they've had in a very long time. But I mean, obviously, the last 2 games they've played, they lost 22-19 yesterday and 28-1 against the Bills. It's just been very close games, but once they figure more things out, like you have Xavier Worthy, you have Rashee Rice, you have the pieces necessary, and like we've said before, Mahomes can figure this out. He can absolutely be a playmaker for them. I mean, you have Travis Kelce doing something for once other than him being washed right now.
He's now the franchise leader in touchdowns.
Travis Kelce has had a down past couple of years, but yesterday
great.
He had his best game in a while yesterday.
Yeah, and that is fair to say, but I just don't see the reality of the Chiefs not making the AFC title game. They're just, if they make the playoffs, you know what can happen. It's the new, you're going to really bet against Brady in the playoffs, or you're really going to bet against Mahomes in the playoffs.
That should be their focus. They shouldn't be focused on AFC championship. They should be focused on not even the playoffs, just win the next game.
Yeah, because their next game is against the surging Indianapolis Colts, one of the hottest teams in the NFL, nevertheless the AFC. Then you have the Broncos, who are sitting at 9-2. Don't even have Patrick Surtain, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, and they were able to dismantle this Kansas City Chiefs offense. Chiefs' offensive line is looking a little rough. You still have other teams floating around out there, too, like the New England Patriots. I mentioned the Colts. The Broncos are here. The rest of the AFC is starting to rise, and we might just see the Kansas City Chiefs fall. Like I said, they've been in 5 straight AFC championship games. It's going to take a lot because, like you said, you don't bet against Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. But if you're going to do it, this might just be the year to do it now. Because they are 1-4 on the road. And if they don't win this conference, they might not have a home playoff game at any point during January. Now, we've played our game of take it or leave it. Let's talk about this Monday Night Football matchup between I don't even remember who's playing. Just
it's the toilet bowl.
John, just hit the stager. Sports Pack and Wolf Sports Network are not liable for any financial losses that may occur due to using our picks outside of the show. These are just our opinions. Don't blame us. Blame the players. Had to remind myself because, like you said, this isn't the greatest Monday Night Football game we've ever seen. We have the 3-5-1 Dallas Cowboys going on the road to take on the 2-7 Las Vegas Raiders, who are currently 1-3 at home. ESPN analytics are giving the Dallas Cowboys a 59% chance to win this game. Keyshawn, I'm going to start with you here. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys get it done tonight?
Absolutely. Despite being 3-5, I mean, I think they're a pretty solid team. I mean, that offense is showing up every game, week in, week out. Dak Prescott's been playing the best football probably of his career. I mean, and that defense, it has been struggling, but they, at the trade deadline, they added 2 new pieces, Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson up in the middle. So, I mean, hopefully that can kind of, shift that defense up a little bit. Ashton Genty is going to have a very difficult task tonight. I know he hasn't been consistent all season, but, I mean, the Raiders are really going to need him this game if they plan on winning. But, I mean, just based off strength of roster, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to. But, Schrader, the Cowboys probably have the worst defense in all of football. And the Raiders do still have Brock Bowers.
Yeah, so whenever it comes to the Cowboys, my pick's always consistent. I believe a man stands on what he believes, and I believe in never picking the Cowboys.
That's fair.
I've said it here multiple times. So I'm going to pick the Raiders simply because I will never pick the Cowboys. But the Cowboys have reloaded that defense, right?
Yep,
they on the trade deadline, they made some moves.
They got Quinnen Williams.
They got Quinnen Williams. That's the big move. But there's something else we got to look at. We say this game's terrible. We need a better primetime game. Currently, the lowest ticket for sale is $817. So maybe the citizens of Las Vegas, if those exist, know something that we don't about what's going to happen in the world's biggest Roomba tonight. So
the world's biggest Roomba.
Check it out.
I mean, the stadium does look like a Roomba.
It looks exactly like a Roomba.
But you also have to remember, it's a brand new stadium. Like you said, it looks like a Roomba. People always want to go. And these are two of the more delusional fan bases in all of the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know how Raiders fans are still so loyal.
Dropping $817 for nosebleeds in
Gosh.
this game.
To Cowboys and
My
Raiders.
goodness. Dave Ramsey's fuming right now.
It's insane. John?
I mean, it's not the most exciting game, as we know. Simple as I think the Cowboys will get it done tonight. They got, in my opinion, they have more offensive weapons. You had the defensive additions from the trade deadline, and so it just puts more of a task for the Raiders. It's just not the most exciting game. I can't give you that much enthusiasm on it. It just
sucks.
This is what happens, right?
If this was college football and it was like a 3-5 and a 2-7 Group 5 team, this would be a great
game.
Put
2 0-9 teams, and we'd be going crazy
playing
for
a
it.
scholarship. Here, it's just
playing
sucks.
for a scholarship. Wow.
I don't really know. We're gonna see two of the, I guess.
Two of the
I'll
teams.
just say it, two of the ugliest faces in all of football: Jerry Jones and Mark.
Davis.
Yeah, Mark Davis, the Raiders owner. Two of the most beautiful guys in sports with the youngest wives you'll ever see. I mean, Jerry Jones have a young wife. He has a young mistress, but nonetheless,
I'm sure he's got a great personality.
I can't wait to see Mark Davis' bowl cut. I mean, this is going to be a heck of a game. The Cowboys have one of the worst defenses in football, but the Raiders have one of the worst offenses in football, led by quarterback Geno Smith, who has taken a massive step back after he's left Seattle. I don't know what to make of this game. I think the Cowboys win. They have the more talented roster. Somehow they're going to try to make it a game because they're the Cowboys, the same guys that lost 27-17 to the Cardinals a couple weeks ago in primetime. They're going to find a way to make it competitive because the Cowboys love beating themselves more than anything else. But I think the Cowboys get it done. Dak maybe throws for like over 300 yards. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens going to celebrate the end zone at some point. Cowboys probably win it. I don't know. This is one of them games, man. This is one of them games. Now, that's all the time we got for Sports Back tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. I hate the Falcons. I don't really know what to say here. I'm a little sensitive about.
Find a way out of Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
I'm a little sensitive about the Falcons, if you can't tell, because now we're going into our biggest rivalry game of the season against the New Orleans Saints with Kirk Cousins and no Drake London.
You lose the game to the Saints,
brother.
It's another gateway to fire Raheem Morris, just like we did Arthur Smith. Let me tell you.
What do we have? We have no Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins will be starting. Drake London is out. He's day by day at this point. I don't know what to call it. But like I said, that's all the time we got for Sports Pack tonight. We'll begrudgingly talk about it more on Thursday, our last episode before Thanksgiving break. So don't miss out. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube, go to our YouTube channel at Wolf Sports Network and check out our all-new Wolf Sports Network exclusive interview with Ricky Griffin and Valena Silva from the UWG track and field team. Great stories being told, a lot of laughs, a lot of inspiring moments. Be sure to check out that interview exclusively on our YouTube channel at Wolf Sports Network. Now that's all the time we got. Catch you on Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a blessed day.